Behind the scene they work very hard to do what we do, to stay motivated. This is the Teachers Reality Show. This is the Teachers Reality Show.
The Teachers Naija Reality Show.
Your Excellency, sir, we welcome you to the Teachers Naija's house. We've been here for 2 weeks now with the teachers. They came from all over the country, every part of the country represented here, and they've participated in a lot of tasks. So during the conversation, I'm sure they will let you know what they've actually done within this period and what they've learned. I would say that it's been an eventful show. It's been on TV from the 3rd of this month, 1 hour every day from 8 to 9 on Tribes TV. So this session will also be on TV. So it's been wow. We've been getting a lot of comments from Nigerians and even the diaspora that this is an ideal show that should be on TV, that has morals and that will build the future of our children. So once more, I welcome you to the Teachers Naija's house.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, may we be introduced? Like I said,
Yes, sir.
my name is Chukwemeka.
Good day, Your Excellency.
Please sit down.
Okay, thank you, sir. I am Gloria Odutola. I am from Onitsha Olona in Onitsha North in Delta State. I teach at Peakling College International, Alagbole in Ogun State.
Ogun State.
Yes, sir.
Good day, Your Excellency. My name is Mao Shadrach.
Mao Shadrach.
Hail from Delta States. I teach at Top Heritage Academy, Plateau State, just north.
Wow. Just north. Plateau State. Yes, ma'am.
Good day, Your Excellency. My name is Faremi Mary Oluwabukola from Ofa, Kwara State. I teach in Asaro Islam Junior Secondary School, Ofa, and I teach basic science.
Basic science. Yes, ma'am.
Good day, Your Excellency.
Good afternoon.
My name is Alabi Abiola Onlade. I'm from Ogun State. I teach basic science in Abuja Junior Grammar School, Surulere, Lagos.
Okay.
Good day, Your
Good-
Excellency.
Good afternoon.
I'm Oluchi Chukwuma OJ. I'm from Abia State, and I teach at Flourish Hall High School, Ibejuleki, Lagos. And I teach commerce.
Flourish Hall.
Yes.
Commerce.
Yes, sir.
Good day, Your Excellency. My name is Obidima Jennifer Chine. I'm from Ubazo and Mary, or East Local Government Area in Imo State. I teach in Chrisland School Abuja, and I teach diction in English.
Chrisland here.
Yes.
Lovely.
Good day, Your Excellency. My name is Elmene Buseta Victoria. I'm from Edo State,
Victoria.
and I teach in Green Park Preparatory School, Abuja.
Green
Teach
Park.
English, yes, sir.
Yes.
Good day, Your Excellency.
Really.
I am Onyade Jobi Murayo Roslyn from Lagos. I teach information technology at Abeson Comprehensive Junior College, Abeson Ipaja, Lagos.
Abeson.
Yes, sir.
Lovely. So we have quite a variety. So you've been here 2 weeks, I gather.
Yes, sir.
When the show was to commence, they informed us at the Ministry of Education that they were going to go ahead with this show. And we're quite delighted to know that there is this effort to put teachers at the pedestal we actually want them to be, a showcase of what is upright and moral for our country. In the production of this manpower, that is your primary task, which is to produce for the country the men and women that will run the affairs of this country. It is important to showcase that they are being done by those who are knowledgeable and who are, I didn't contend with them also being this pretty, but we always refer to teachers first for their intellect. So I'm delighted to be in your midst. So, I would then take a minute to then share your experience with me. If you can, then let me start from Abeson, a woman who's, so tell me, what has it been like?
Wow. It's been interesting.
Yes.
Having teachers from all over the country, from different tribes, different temperaments, being under the same roof and you have to work together, whether you like it or not. We have group tasks, we have individual tasks. My most memorable moment was when we were asked to get a script on unity in cultural diversity. We had a drama, and even somebody who was Igbo had to play the Hausa part.
Exactly.
So it was very interesting, and most times we had to think out of the box. You have no choice. Think out of the box. It has made me a better person. Sincerely, my brand has changed.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
So let's hear from you, Madam Victoria.
Yes, sir. Okay, for me it's been a wonderful season. I'm meeting all of these beautiful people from all over the country, both present and the ones that have been evicted. I learned a lot, especially in collaboration. And for me, I think that the most memorable task I had was, I love being on the field work and all of that. So taking the classroom to the field was really, we did a task on no child must be left behind. And for me, it was like, okay, going back to my classroom in my mind, then bringing it back to the field. And it was really, really good for me because, and I think that was one of the reasons that made me excel, made my group excel in that task, and it was really memorable. And for every other thing we've done, impromptu, everything we do here most times always impromptu. Okay, we want to test your resilience as teachers, and they're like, oh, these are the things you ask your children to do, so come and do them. But you know, it's really been awesome, and I do not take it for granted.
Great, Madam Oluchi.
No, it's not Oluchi.
It's Oluchi, yeah? Oluchi. So let's take Oluchi then.
Okay. All right, I would say the whole show has been wonderful. I've learnt a lot. In short, I met more than I expected, much more than I expected. There was this task we had at the poolside. Where you have, your school must not fall. You must work as a team to ensure that you keep upholding the standard in your school together and not letting it fall, no matter what. It was a lesson for me. You don't look up, you don't place blame on the people at the top, but you should make every effort to see that you work in collaboration and lift the educational standard high, and that was a big lesson for me.
Okay. So Jenny, it resonates with you?
Well, yes, it does resonate with me, but for me, my first hit, so to say, when I came here the first time was our first task ever. I think it was the task where we had to talk about educational technology in Nigeria and all the rest of that. So doing that immediately when we got here, because I teach diction in English, so I'm more of the teacher that talks about soft skills, doing presentations and all that. So for me to be put on the spot, like personally, and then having to do that for the first time on a national TV, I began to think about all the times I would, put a little push on my learners and like, do it, you can do it, you can do it. And now I'm here all by myself, even though I have my colleagues I was working with, but personally, it was more like a me versus me thing, personally. So I wasn't just competing or against, my colleagues, and because they put it like a debate, so of course you have competition. So I wasn't just competing with others, it was more like a competition between me versus me.
So we've heard from 4 ladies and you're the only man left in the 8. You're almost an endangered species. What's going on? Yes.
Well, yes, I must say I'm grateful to God. Being will I say last man standing. And it's been a wonderful experience working with the housemaid, the ones present and the ones that have been evicted. And coming to the house was an eye-opener for me, It's not all about being in the classroom, the activities being done in the classroom, but coming over here, we learned a lot of things they didn't teach us back in our school.
Exactly.
I think, was it yesterday we did a task, was talking about spotting children, individual abilities. You be in a class setting, you see some children are fast learners. They have, like when you give them their numeracy, they can do very well. Then some are struggling, while some are nowhere to be placed. But you spotting out their individual differences, you can help them. You can be patient with them. We used an example of various animals. They were given an instruction to climb a tree. We had a monkey, we had a fish. We had a
Elephant,
dolphin,
dolphin,
elephant,
yes.
dolphin, and the rest. So looking at the picture, we could easily spot that the monkey would do very well while climbing the tree. But talking about the animal, elephant, the fish cannot climb the tree. So we came to a conclusion that is how children they are in the class. Some they have natural abilities to do some certain things, while some they are just there. You just have to be patient with them.
Or you find alternatives.
Yeah, find alternatives for them. According to their abilities. That's how you just carry out an exam.
Is this something that works in offer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I really want to thank God. I really want to bless God for the opportunity given to me to participate. And I cannot say I'm a better teacher.
Yeah.
The memorable task for me, the one I love most, is the one we did at the hillside, that we had to search for the slow learners. It's about the fast learners, the average one, and the slow learners. So we had to identify these learners and to search for them, even in the forest. Though it wasn't easy, I was the group leader there. It wasn't easy. Searching, picking, even most of the slow learners were found under the rock, under the needs. So it's now opened my eyes to see that even in the classroom, there are some things that should be done by teachers. We need to go more, we need to do more in getting these slow learners, and by putting them together to maybe to educate them with others fast learners, so that they won't be left behind, so that all of them all together they can learn together.
And this principle applies everywhere, you think so?
Yes.
Why?
No child should be left behind. Their educational background or standard notwithstanding, whether they are fast learners or they are slow learner or they are average learner. Just like the picture Shedrack was talking about the other time. How will you tell a fish to climb the tree? It sounds absurd because that's not the river. That's where the fish can be found. But at the same time, rather than telling the fish to climb the tree, why not put the fish in the river and let the fish swim? Then by so doing, I'm able to assess the fish in the river, then tell the monkey to climb the tree, then I'm able to assess the monkey. Then I take the elephant to the forest, then let me see what it can do. By so doing, I'm able to assess each of my learners based on their abilities.
So you've been at this for a while, because I guess you were at Martina Teachers.
No, I wasn't.
You weren't?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. I got the impression you were.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so cap it.
Okay. Well, I must say that our experience here has been really impactful. The tsunami of tasks that we've been through.
Tsunami.
You know, we have the tasks back to back. I think that has stirred in me, you know, the alertness to be able to take up any challenge that comes my way as a teacher, to be ever ready. And it has been really, really good. Meeting these wonderful teachers, I think they are worthy contestants. Everybody has been giving their best towards the success of this program, giving their best at the tasks. It's not about the winning alone. It's about making us better teachers, so that when we go out there, we'll be able to impact our students and our environment as well. We can't remain the way we were when we got into this house. We are far better than we used to be. And that's, I believe that when we go out into the environment, we impact one another, it will spread, and before you know it, the educational sector in Nigeria will surely improve.
Yes,
thank you.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I almost feel proud of you guys already.
Thank you, sir.
But with nearly 2.2 million teachers registered on our Teachers Registration Council platform, and I get that only 20 people were chosen to come and participate, I feel like you're the creme.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not sure if it's creme de la creme, but creme.
Thank you, sir. Creme de la creme.
So we can just stop at creme. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So my visit today really is to see what the organizers have put together and how they're managing this. We think we can give added impetus to what they are doing and further visibility to enhance how Nigerians appreciate the work you do.
Yes.
for people like me who are stubborn children in school, I personally have a huge appreciation of my teachers. But I'm not sure there is a national appreciation. And that is what we intend to promote, that national consciousness around the challenges and the tasks that you people have brought to help the nation with. So I must say thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Through you, thank the rest of the teachers who are doing wonderful jobs outside there. Yes. But I've also been told that as part of the engagement, I will have a ministerial session where I'm going to have to ask you some questions as part of your evaluation, I guess, because I don't know how it works and how they do that. So they brought me a file, I'm playing. I'm sure this is on behalf of President Muhammad Buhari, and I've heard that I'm supposed to ask these questions it's a card game, and it's supposed to be part of your task today. So can somebody tell me the full meaning of UBE? Yes, offer.
Full meaning of UBE.
Yes.
Universal Basic Education.
Correct. Thank you very much. State the full meaning of NCE. Yes. Yes.
National Certificate of Education.
Correct. 2 points. Each one gets a point. CA means
continuous assessment.
So, look, since you people have given a chorus answer already on this, we take it that everybody gets a point.
Thank you.
Just raise your hand. Question number 8. What does a teacher use to set the mind of a learner ready before introducing a topic? Yes, please.
Set induction.
Set induction. 1 point. Correct.
Thank you.
Denying a child access to a favorite toy as a result of bad conduct is what type of reward? Yes.
Negative reward.
Negative reward, correct. 3 points. You're not at 3 points. Everybody is 1. What is the full meaning of TRCN? Yes.
Teachers Legislation Council of Nigeria.
Correct. So I award you that. I won't take it as a chorus question. So you have 2, 2, 3. 1, 1, everybody else. Question number 23. The head of a primary school is called a name that is not common. Yes, Shadrach.
Proprietor.
Yes.
A teacher.
No.
Headmaster.
Headmaster or headmistress.
Sir.
I said use all of the names you've called are common names.
Common names.
Administrator.
A proprietor is an owner.
Yes.
The head of a primary school. An uncommon name.
HOD.
School head.
School manager. An administrator.
Principal.
Primary
school. Okay, yes, primary school.
Why would the head of a school, a word that does not include head, a school?
Supervise.
A synonym for all of the names you've called. A synonym. I'll bank.
Senior teacher.
I'll bank. Question number 27. In education planning, syllables is derived directly from, yes?
The curriculum.
Curriculum, correct. Question number 28. State an example of an audiovisual aid.
Audio.
I have 3 possible answers. So if you give me one, I'll take yes.
Video.
No, it's not one of the 3.
Interactive board.
No, it's not one of the 3.
Is it like, do we have like
No, not
a
one of the 3.
radio or headsets?
It's not one of all of this is you've given are examples, but none of them are in my options.
A mobile phone.
No. Somebody should at least get one of the 3.
A laptop.
Laptop. Yes. No, you must. No, she gets the point. There are 3. There are 2 others.
A mobile phone should.
Smart board.
No.
Smart.
No.
A tablet.
A microphone.
Who's the tablet?
Tablet.
Yeah, that's another one. So you get a point for that. Yes. There's one more remaining.
An iPad.
That's another name for a laptop. Television. I'm just following the script. Question number 30. Defining, listing, stating are part of what domain in setting objectives? Yes, madam.
Cognitive.
Cognitive domain. Cognitive domain. Correct. Which sense organ is emphasized in visual learning? Yes? Yes, ma'am.
The eyes.
The eyes, correct. 36. Which sense organ is emphasized in audio learning? Yes.
The ears.
Chorus answers, not the
So 1 for everybody. There are other questions here for which there are no answers yet. But I'm sure that if I ask them, you may now give me a chorus answer. But I will attempt.
Okay, sir.
Who is the Minister of State for Education? Okay, so we are going to give everybody one.
Thank you, sir.
That's why I can't ask the rest of the questions. Really, all of these questions are going to be, they are non-specific. It's the same generic kind of question. So I'm going to award everybody the rest of the marks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I'm taking a bit of your time, so
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
I will, at this point, make my exit.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time as well.
Okay, so,
Oh, you want to ask me some?
question, please. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sir. So thank you so much for coming around to see us. And then my question is this: what is the plan of the federal government to upgrade the standard of living of teachers in Nigeria?
There are 2 classes of teachers in Nigeria, or 2 levels. One are those employed by government, and others employed in the private sector. But as a nation, we want to make the profession a little bit well respected than it is currently.
Okay.
Plans are afoot to work with the Nigerian Union of Teachers to set up an insurance scheme that covers every teacher for life.
Okay.
We were discussing that, and at the last Teachers' Day celebration, every 5th October is our Teachers' Day celebration. We've examined things that we think can put teachers on a pedestal that, first of all, guarantees them a minimum lifestyle that ensures that we get the best kind of people in there, whether you're working for government or you're not working for government. That's one. Okay. Two, if we are able to improve pay across board and request participants, because even those who work in government, I understand they all get some level of a benchmark pay. At the private schools, because they are businesses, they pay as they can. And so there is no minimum pay grade across. So we believe that if we have a national work plan through the Teachers Registration Council that can have some sort of minimum engagement, that everybody is guaranteed a minimum at every pay grade, that will also help with assimilating teachers everywhere without necessarily hurting the business plan of those who own it. Then to encourage governments at every level, because the bulk of our teaching and our teachers are actually employed at the local government settings, because the federal government does not own one primary school. And there are 135,000 primary schools in Nigeria. Federal government does not own one. So whilst we regulate the teaching profession through the teaching TRCN and request that UBE money, the monies we send to the states, are used for teacher upgrade and all of the facilities that are needed in the schools, we are unable to enforce, because the Supreme Court decision has handed over the payment of teacher salaries at the local level to the local government authorities. And that is why we have gaps in them being able to receive it regularly and being able to receive it equally. That is in the process of being standardized. That's on the aspect. But a uniform national teacher insurance scheme and an upgrade mechanism to guarantee minimum things that we're doing with housing. But most of our problem around this is that we don't want to lose teachers in the private sector, because if you notice what I did, I kept advocating during the period of COVID, was that schools were shut down. Teachers in public sector could receive pay, but that wasn't applicable to teachers in the private sector.
Yes.
And this is primarily because the teachers in private sector only get paid from what the proprietors make.
Yes.
So if we don't have a national program to provide a benchmark, we took in from NAPS, the Association of Private Teachers Proprietors, we took in from them a list of all their teachers. Unfortunately, we migrated that to the CBN and the Ministry of Trade and Investment, because the schools are classified as small-scale enterprises. And unfortunately, most of the schools have no tax records. And therefore, there is no way for the federal government to engage. Because without a TIN number, a tax identification number, if you get subsidized from government, it will be like a fraud. Because there's no tax corresponding code with which to enable those. So we are working with teachers, and I spoke about this in Jalingo and in the last National Education Council on Education, to explain that there is need for our people to be a bit more forthright. For the purposes of running a forthright government, you need actually forthright people. Yes. Next question.
My question, we want to say thank you, sir, for the policies and implementation. You have also mentioned it while you were speaking concerning the private schools. The policies are on ground, the structure is on ground. The implementation, how does it get down? Is there a monitoring team to ensure compliance from the private schools?
Right now, compliance with a lot of things, not just with teachers, lies with state authorities. You see, the licensing and approval for you to open a secondary or a primary school is still resides primarily with the state where you are domiciled. You get to the Ministry of Education in that state to get a license to operate at that level. Now, there are a few items listed on that checklist. Some way, Nigerians find a way to either circumvent it or circumnavigate it. Because we get to a point where we said, okay, we'll ask, okay, how did this school get licensed in the first place? It would be that somebody either circumvented the rule or simply provided something which it seemed at the time that it had met that criteria, but was not actually met. And this is rampant in a few of the urban centers, where if you require a XYZ number of length of grass for field, somebody who's in a block of flats can actually point to a grass nearby and they say that has been registered in their name, when that is not. Okay, so we want all of that. There are a lot of rules are made by us who constitute governance structures around the world, but it will take the people and their own attitudinal bent to be able to get it leaning on one side or the other.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so before you leave, am I permitted to stand? I'd like to actually stand. Can I sit? All right. So I'd like to thank you on behalf of the housemates, Teachers Naija Reality TV Show Season 2 and Anno Media. We'd like to express our sincerest gratitude to you for everything you've been doing to partner with us, collaborate with us, to make sure that, you know, the show, the profession, and the facelift of teachers, you know, is elevated in the nation as it's supposed to be. And we are really, really grateful for that, and we say thank you. And we pray that God blesses you, blesses your administration, and everything that you stand for. And
blesses our country.
Yes, and blesses, of course, yes, definitely. Blesses our dear country, Nigeria, and teachers as well. And then we also finally pray that God sees you all back to your destinations peacefully.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Your Excellency, sir, there's a big announcement. When we started the show, because we've actually been meeting a lot of potential sponsors. But when we started the show, after the show aired for like 2 days on TV, one of the real estates we had approached called us and they said they wanted to do something big for the winner of the show. And I was actually wowed when I was told about the plans that they had. And they made a promise, and we have an agreement with them that the winner of the second season of Teachers Naija Reality TV Show will be going home with a 2-bedroom apartment in Abuja.
Wow.
This apartment is actually worth 35 million naira. And that same winner will be going home with 2 million naira cash. So in total, the winner will be going home with...
Is it too late to enter the house?
My goodness.
You're in the house already, sir.
You're in the house already.
So in total, the winner will be going home with prizes worth 37 million.
Lovely. Is there any way to get Nigerians to vote on this?
Yes. The
Oh,
voting
lovely.
platforms are up there
All right.
on the website,
Great.
www.teachersnigeria.com.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Congratulations. I can't pray for one person now. I can't pray for one person. The 8 of them are wonderful.
Yes, yes, definitely.
You don't know them, you can't see them, and you don't even know where they are. But they are watching you, waiting to steal your usernames, passwords, sensitive data, and take over your accounts. Until now, introducing
Cyberwatch Hive. Book an appointment with us today for seminars and workshops on cybersecurity, vulnerability assessments on servers, software, and networks. We develop software and web applications to meet our clients' needs. Contact us now. Cyberwatch. Securing the cyberspace.
Scholarship opportunity for educators who want to acquire postgraduate diploma in education from local and international universities. The Chartered Institute of Educational Practitioners UK, CPUC, hereby invites all qualified educators to register now and enjoy tuition scholarship for postgraduate diploma in education (PGDE) from local and foreign partner universities across the globe. Register online for entrance examination at www.icontest.ciepuk. CPUC understands the high cost of PGDE across the globe. Therefore, we hereby present this great opportunity for you to enjoy PGDE tuition scholarship scheme. Take advantage of this scholarship opportunity and register now, as we have limited slots for applicants. This opportunity is brought to you by CPUC in partnership with Teachers Naija TV reality show. Announcer Professor Marcel Ezewonye, President, CPUC Africa Region.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Amanda Ibe. I write for legit.lg. Looking at the show you have going on right now, we'd like to find out what support is the government giving to this show. Considering that it's education and education is the basis of growth and development in the society.
Thank you. This is our attempt to see what it is that the proprietors and entrepreneurs who have set up this show are doing. We think it is laudable. The ministry encourages every effort to make education a little bit more widely accepted or recognized or elevated standards. And we think that this is part of showcasing our teachers and making the general public, fuse into that kind of commonplace acceptance of the work that they do. We can't, as a ministry, make a budget for a private enterprise because the Ministry of Education works with public funds, and we do not suo motu decide on how we would like to spend it. The way the Constitution of the Federal Republic is structured is that we are accountable to the Nigerian public. We can't use their money the way we like. The Nigerian public has also elected a body that determines how their resources can be used. And insofar as there is no provision earmarked for this provision, I cannot on my own decide that I want to take something and come and give them. But what I can give them is what we're doing now, engaging them, encouraging them, supporting them, showing that we are working in tandem with the objectives that our state principles, as captured in Chapter 2 of our Constitution, says that the welfare and security of its people is the primary objective of government. And that is our primary objective. And we think that as long as this objective is aligned with us, we will make ourselves available for them.
Okay, speaking about support too, there is also an agency, the National Orientation Agency, which is established to push the orientation of Nigerians towards the good, towards selling the Nigerian brand. Now, is the Ministry of Education, looking at what we have, the show, is the Ministry of Education doing anything to work with the agency to ensure that there's so much awareness? I mean, there are other shows out there, and they're getting, all the kind of awareness and marketing, so to say, that is out there. I mean, is the ministry working with the agency to ensure that what is happening in the show, which is very, very informative, educational, so to say, is pushed out there?
I think it's important that we do that. I think as a country, the NOA is set up by law, and it has the ambits of its discipline, what they need to do. It's a national orientation agency. It's an agency of government for national orientation. What that implies is that it is in their interest to cultivate every manner of public engagement that will help reorientate or orientate Nigerians in the direction they would otherwise think that this is proper. However, they may be constrained by their own law as to what they can do and what they cannot do with private efforts. And the choice, you see, the truth of the matter is that Nigeria is a large public. It's made up of diverse populations, and the demographics are staggering. Because the number of those who have different orientation towards different things are very, quite spread. Because that is the case, it may not be actually possible to immediately say everybody would appreciate everything the same way. So we expect that variety of thought, that variety of opinion, that variety of content is out there, and anybody can engage those that they think they should engage. But the focus on business people who channeling or at the forefront of moving this sort of thought process on is to encourage all those who are also encouraging other platforms, because all other platforms get the sort of encouragement they see, and they are marketing people. So if they think Nigerians appreciate this show, which is part of the reason I'm here, I want to say that anything that projects our teachers in good light, I would like to support it. And in the same token, I would believe that corporate sponsors or those who are associated with all our schooling brands should also see that behind this, there's a possibility to use this to also reach their wider audience, because that's what business people are looking at. And that's the kind of sponsorship that drives those other platforms that you're talking about, and I believe should drive this platform.
Yeah, the purpose of the show is to improve teachers' professionalism, development, career development, and all that. You went in there into the house yourself to see firsthand those for a short while, but what you saw on ground, do you think the show is tilting towards the purpose for which the project was actually established?
I haven't watched all of the show the way from the time it started, but the reports I have gotten from many of those who have watched what had been broadcast, and my engagement this afternoon with the 8 of those who are remaining, because I've heard that about a dozen persons already have been ejected. But this is a showcase. It is very minimal in terms of percentage. When you look at nearly 2.2 million teachers in Nigeria, this is really just quite a small representation of the variety of teachers we have. And we think that if we can encourage these numbers, if we can encourage these persons to make the teaching profession look good, it may help us attract better persons, attract even and keep teachers, because we are also hemorrhaging teachers. We are losing teachers because as soon as they get other opportunities, they tend to take off. And we want teachers to stay because our children need them. We all are products of some teacher. Everybody here is a product of some teacher. And people don't know they teach even when you're mentoring or when you're trying to show the cameraman running this. They learned it. They didn't just wake up in the morning and got it. For them to be able to even comprehend what they are being taught, they must have had basic numeracy and literacy skills before you can then put on top of that the skills that you acquire. So teaching is at the base of human growth, and it must be encouraged one way or the other. So these 8 persons represent to me a fair idea of good people, but they look quite lovely. They look too well, too nice to be suffering teachers the way we, they don't represent all the struggles and all the, I understand what you mean. These are almost very too good to be true, but because we know that teachers may have other challenges, but we believe that this representation is adequate at the time. I appreciate that.
I'm going to take you back to your words. You mentioned that teachers have challenges. Let me not take you way too far there into there. But of course, teachers have challenges, and some of the challenges can transcend to pay. And like I should be able to have a good pay to have the basic things I need. Housing. Yeah. There's a plan for housing by the government for teachers, a mass housing for teachers. Is that plan still in the pipeline? Or?
It is. Actually, I'm still pushing with all the state governors. We have written them asking for themselves and the Nigeria Union of Teachers. We've got responses in Naija. We have responses in Cross River. We have responses everywhere for the national teacher housing effort. Anything to help. But teachers are also part of the larger federal mortgage bank opportunity, so they can also tap into that. Teachers are also part of the larger Federal Civil Service loans scheme, for those who are in the Federal Civil Service, so they can tap into that. So there are quite a few opportunities, but this particular one that is dedicated to teachers and being done with private investors, public spirited individuals, and the National Union of Teachers, all that collaboration, we think at every state that we've written, their state governors are working at it to provide the land in the areas where we've requested them and where the opportunities arise. However, a national housing policy is also being involved, and if you listen to the Minister of Works and Housing, he has pointed out repeatedly that what Nigeria may have is not necessarily a housing deficit. It might be a user deficit, in the sense that there's a lot of migration out of where the properties actually exist into areas where they do not exist, in which case the demand for urban housing then outstrips its availability, whereas availability of local and rural housing then is suboptimal.
Okay, just something on the side. There are other shows out there. Let me take the Big Brother show for an instance. The winner goes on with 90 million naira. Yeah. Maybe other incentives, houses, a trip to Dubai, and all like that. And then we hear that the teacher's reward is in heaven. I mean, my mom is a teacher and she will always stand out to me. But then here is a teacher taking 2 million naira home as compared to 90 million naira. Do you think that's enough incentive?
I think they're not the objectives are not the same. These are not they're not the objectives, and I don't want to compare their business models. But I've often told teachers repeatedly, the teacher's reward is in heaven. What is here is his wages. There's a difference between wages and reward. And when people refer to wages and mix it up with reward, teachers must be paid here, their wages. But teaching actually is not just a profession. It is an empathy of empathment. A teacher is not limited to the person who is in a classroom. A mother who takes you from suckling and weans you and then takes you to a diaper change. You can't quantify that, and there's no wage for that. The work of teaching somebody to be a human being is not learned only in the classroom. It is learned and it's the whole of society approach. And that is why the reward for teaching human beings to be human, that reward can only be in heaven. But the wages for a teaching profession must be here, and we pay. So we can't compare that with social life skills that other platforms may want to portray. This is a dedicated skill set. It's not showcasing every kind of lifestyle. It is not dedicated to a favor around a new social behavior kind of. This is almost a patterned, disciplined, sterling, and almost pattern attitude to life that you're encouraging, that is with a moral code that defines itself and can't exceed or allow itself to be jaundiced. So you cannot even lay that with something that is parallel it, going on a different tangent and compare the rewards. These are not reward systems, and the reward systems shouldn't be the same. This place aspirationally looks to how we can make a teacher a better focus for society. Everybody will not become teachers because we are casting a show. Everybody would not become a beauty queen because we are asking or casting a show. What we are portraying and what we think that the objective of this exercise is to show that the teaching profession is a noble profession. It is one that is needed in a society, and a society will reward its people and encourage them, and that will lead to a better society. It is actually in that realm that I'm operating. I'm not operating on the basis of the social contacts and all.
Now you're here. I just want to give you my job right now. Can you just be a storyteller to the people, to teachers out there? You've been into the house, you saw for yourself what is going on there. Can you be like a storyteller to the teachers, students who are out there, and Nigerians as a whole? Watch this show and what you think, how they can benefit from the show or viewing the show.
Thank you. I actually interacted with the teachers and had the opportunity to ask them some questions.
Yeah.
So I'm quite impressed. The teachers, I don't know how they were chosen or how you come about, but these are very good teachers because I asked them and they, explained some of the improvements that they've, had in their understanding of how they should teach. They gave me an example of being able to identify which child may not necessarily be optimal in learning optics, and then the difference between getting a fish to just swim rather than getting a fish to climb a tree, because a monkey probably should do that better. And when they said that, they all agreed that this goes to what they do in school, when they identify that all the children in their class may not necessarily all be learning at the same speed, and the pacing for each of them ought to be varied, or to give them different opportunities at different things. They did explain that, and I was quite impressed, not just by their enthusiasm for learning, but how they are able to translate that into their work at school. So I think from what has been done here, we're not just showcasing teachers, we're actually impacting teachers and helping them, and those who watch the show, who may learn from it, because in the few maybe time I spent with them, I also took some things away. So there will be quite a lot of takeaways from from the show itself, for those who are watching it and for those who are participating. Yeah.
Thank you very much, then.
Thank you.
Mr. Baka, organizing the show, what has it been like? Challenges, breakthroughs, and everything?
Well, I think I should start with the breakthroughs.
Okay.
When you organize something like this, and after the show you don't get feedbacks, you'll be kind of discouraged. But when we had the first season in 2019, we got a lot of calls, people calling. I received about 2 calls from the diaspora They were saying, how did you come about this? How did your team come about this? It is actually one of a kind. In fact, it's the first in Nigeria and it's the first in Africa. And that encouraged us, me and my team, to put in more effort, to the second season. And the teachers that came in for the second season, when they came in, I told them, because I know they would have watched the first season on YouTube, to prepare themselves. But I told them, whatever you have watched on YouTube, delete it from your memory, because what you witness in the second season will be much more different. So we took them out to the field. We even took them out to the forest just to teach them some lessons. And they've been able to learn a lot of things. And the comments on social media has been so wow, encouraging. And it has given us a lot of energy, a lot of interest to put in more effort in the third season. Then talking about the challenges, organizing a show like this, first of all, costs a lot of money to put together. It's not easy to bring in 20 housemates and the crew for that period of time. So the area of sponsorship, we really need a lot in that area. When it comes to education, we usually find it difficult for corporate bodies coming on board. But that's why we're putting in a lot of varieties in the show. It's a show that people need to watch, and it needs to be very interesting. So we're bringing in a lot of varieties that will make people engaged in the show. So I think we are breaking grounds, and I know that the third season would definitely be much more better with a lot of sponsors coming in, and I'm very optimistic.
Behind the scene, they work very hard to do what we do, to stay motivated. This is the Teachers Reality Show. This is the Teachers Reality Show.
The Teachers Naija Reality Show.
Here's how to vote for your favorite housemate. For a single vote, use star your bank USSD code, star 000, star the contestant's code, and then hash. Or go to our website www.teachersniger.com. For multiple votes, use your bank USSD code, star 000, star the contestant's code, star the number of times you want to vote, and then hash.
Everyone has been taught by a teacher. They all grow to become strong leaders. Behind the scene, they work very hard to do what we do, to stay motivated. This is the Teachers Reality Show. This is the Teachers Reality Show.